6:47. I want to turn things over to meteorologist Jason Stiff from the First Alert Weather Center. Yesterday was hot, man, and I guess the drought monitor status is good, but the warm weather can't be helping, right?
Yeah, it is not helping. We also had a lot of wind helping dry things out, but thankfully our drought status has not gotten worse. Same thing as last week at this time. All of San Luis Obispo County, Santa Barbara County, and Ventura County not in drought status or even abnormally dry, which is really good news for us. It has gotten a little bit worse, though, for the state of California in general. We're now into extreme drought and just under 5% of northwestern California. We don't have any wet weather in our forecast, so there's a chance we're going to go back to abnormally dry, but at least we're still on the right side of that monitor. The temperatures, well, they're not on the right side of anything cool at all. Right now, it's still 82 degrees in Gaviota with all that offshore flow, 73 degrees in Santa Barbara. It has dropped down to 62, which is still unbelievably mild for Goleta, 54 degrees in Santa Maria, 46 in Paso Robles, and a mild 59 in Oxnard. We have this ridge of high pressure over California and a good portion of the west coast. Today, still plenty of heat and wind. Thankfully, Saturday and Sunday will have a few clouds in the sky. It won't be as windy, and it also won't be quite as warm. But unfortunately, we don't have any good chance for any rainy weather, and by this coming Monday we have a decent chance for warm up as well as windier weather again. Speaking of which, we're not quite done with that wind today. We'll still have plenty of it for the central coast and the south coast. Also, the mountains will be really windy this afternoon and also this evening. Not quite as windy as it was last night. We had an 81-mile-an-hour wind gust just before midnight last night in the Montecito Hills at that observation site. So bad news as far as that is concerned. The good news is the high wind warning is going to expire at 9 o'clock this morning, but still the potential for some wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour. Then once that goes away, a heat advisory starts at 11 a.m. for the central coast, the San Ynez Valley, the south coast, and the lower elevations of Ventura County. That lasts until 6 p.m. on Saturday. Lots of 80s and some lower to mid-90s for highs, and that is unseasonably hot. So make sure you stay cool and stay safe. Check on the elderly. Make sure your pets have plenty of water, and also check on your kids. Make sure they're staying in the shade and staying cool. As far as the clouds are concerned, don't expect very many of those. We'll have a few clouds Saturday and Sunday, but still a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky at worst, and the temperatures, although warmer than average, won't be quite as hot as today. 70s, 80s, and 90s for our Friday in San Luis Obispo County. Record-breaking potential for many locations. The Central Coast, we're going to be very warm, as you can see, 80s and 90s. Most of those 90s from Buellton through Solvang and San Ynez, just like yesterday, breaking more records for the South Coast. We destroyed the record yesterday in Goleta by 10 degrees. A good chance of breaking it again today with highs in the 90s, and also 95 degrees from Montecito and Santa Barbara. Ventura County, 80s and 90s today. It won't be as hot tomorrow, but it'll still be well above average for the next 7 days. So next 7 days in Santa Barbara, we drop back down to the 80s, which is still well above average. Our average high this time of year is 70, so we're going to be exceeding that each and every day. For Santa Maria, mid-80s today, upper 70s and lower 80s after that. Thankfully, not quite as windy after this afternoon. For San Luis Obispo, upper 80s today, and then mainly lower to mid-80s tomorrow through next Wednesday.